Sometimes it's just because of just one person you suffer throughout your life. Only when we know that we are fettered by craving. So what is hindered by ignorance? Wrong thoughts, wrong views. What happens? Craving arises. You can eradicate all the suffering forever by following that path. Then even for the socks, even for the shoes, for all these things, don't we have a feeling thinking that it's mine, where I see it. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Only after the appearance of a Buddha, human beings, devas, get to know that they are hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. What it is? Beings are hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. So today, from the Anamatagga Sangyukta, from connected discourses, we call it Sangyukta Nikaya, we are going to discuss from Anamatagga Sangyutta. This teaches, the teachings in this book teaches about past lives and about this long journey of samsara, which is known as being born and dead again and again. What we see from our naked eyes, from birth to death, that is also not the things that we really should be concerned. Only the things that are connected to sensual pleasures and that gives us a little bit of gratification, but going through many dangers without learning the reality of it. Therefore, by paying homage to the Buddha, by saying Namo Buddhaya, getting blessings from the great triple gems by saying Theruvan Saranai, let's start this wonderful series of sermons about the endless journey of being born and dead until we attain Nibbana. So, the Blessed One explains why beings are hindered. What's the meaning of it? Hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. Hindered by ignorance means beings are living this life, they take meals, they go to school, then dress themselves. They find a way to enjoy this human life and also spend this human life by looking at others. Only by looking at others, we try to do something a little bit different. Different in the sense, something better than others, or maybe something higher than others. So anyway, whatever said and done, the difference is not something extremely different to what human beings do. Something may be higher to what they're doing in terms of material gains. So the difference is some have more gains, some are going through losses, some are beautiful, some are ugly, some are very influential, some are not influential, and then some people are intelligent, some are not. So only by these things and also by the vehicles they use, the clothes they use, we see a difference. But the real difference is seen only when you apply the Buddha's teachings. Only when we know that we are hindered by ignorance. Only when we know that we are fettered by craving. So what is hindered by ignorance? Hindered by ignorance means people do not know that there is something called suffering in this life. We should understand and not just run away. The second truth is beings should learn that the reason for suffering, the reason we suffer is that's because of craving. Imagine if you do not crave for anything, you don't have any attachment, you don't think that they are mine, they belong to me and they should be the way I want. You don't have such feelings. Only when you have feelings like these things are mine, they belong to me, they should be with me forever. When you have such wrong thoughts, wrong views, what happens? Craving arises. So only because of craving you suffer. So the second reason is, the reason for suffering is craving. People do not know that. Then they try to avoid suffering by other ways. For an example, when people get stressful in the evenings, they go out for a drink, then indulge in sensual pleasures, like they decide to spend time with women, then women decide to spend time with men, sometimes men with men, sometimes women with women. So it's always once again with some expectation, searching and seeking some expectation, while going through another suffering through those people and things they try to search happiness. So then the third truth is, which people do not know, hindered by ignorance, they do not know that this suffering can be totally abandoned by a right way. The fourth truth is, there's a wonderful path consisting 8 factors which you can practice in your daily life, and one day you can totally remove all the sufferings and all the defilements in your mind that leads for suffering. You can eradicate all the suffering forever by following that path which is known as the Noble Eightfold Path. So when people do not know these 4 noble truths, they are hindered by ignorance. They always find shortcuts. So when beings are not aware of the 4 noble truths, obviously they are fettered by craving. Then they are bonded to things. From the day they are born, from their young age, from the little age, when they gradually grow, they crave for toys, they crave for parents, for the room that we live. Don't we crave for the pens, pencils, then even for the socks, even for the shoes? For all these things, don't we have a feeling thinking that it's mine, where is it? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Imagine how helpless people they get when they have this just one simple thought thinking that these things are mine, 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 mine. And what happened to them? What happened to them? And what will happen to me? What will happen to my belongings? When this world is so big, people are connected and bonded to few things. And just because of only these little things, they have to suffer throughout their life. Sometimes it's just because of just one person, you suffer throughout your life. That's because just having craving towards just one person. So even having craving towards one person can lead you to a great misery. Did you understand how fortunate we are now? Why we learn these things? And at the same time, do you understand how unfortunate human beings can be without knowing these two things? And they live this whole life without knowing the Four Noble Truths and without knowing how craving arises, without knowing that people are mentally attached to things though they live separately. Therefore, if you learn these wonderful sermons, you will slowly learn to break bondages and keep up your relationships and your responsibilities. And your responsibilities replace your bondages with loving kindness, compassion, and also equanimity. Sometimes you do your best, but they don't respond for what you do, and they don't appreciate what you do. So when people don't appreciate what you do, we should feel happy for ourselves. We have done what we should do. That good karma will be with me, though they don't respond in a positive manner. Therefore, with a vast knowledge of the Buddha's teachings, if you live this human life, you can live without fear, sorrow, and then without any weeping and worrying about others, and also worrying about yourself, and with a great hope of one day getting away of all this and eliminating these thoughts in this mind, and with a great hope of being free from bondages and evil thoughts, and also a life that is free from sorrow, and a life that is untouched by ups and downs in life. A life that is untouched by ups and downs in life. How fortunate we are. Therefore, stay with us and learn these wonderful sermons, write down the basic sermons. Therefore, join us and connect with our programs. And while you listen to these sermons, try to get a book from the Tripitaka. Follow the teachings if possible. This is from Samyutta Nikaya, second book. It's about, you call it Nidana Vagga. Bhante Bodhi's translations are excellent. If you can find Bhante Bodhi's books, then even Bhante Thanisaro and also Bhante Sujato. You can find these translations and follow these suttas. While you look at the Buddha's words, you can also follow what we say, and just like enjoying a great honey ball, may you enjoy the bliss of learning the Buddha's teachings and reach the goal a Buddha has taught us one day in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya, Theravada Saranai.